Shine bright like the sun and light up your universe. Hey, welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a PolyGel overlay, part 2 of my design change series. So I've gone ahead and I've already pretty much filed, buffed, cleaned up the nail. If you've seen my part 1, which was the removal of the original design, this is part 2. So now we're going to do the PolyGel overlay. And then for part 3 will be the final design. So please make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, share, and all that good stuff. If you've missed part 1, I will insert a card. That way you can go ahead and view it. So I've gone ahead and added my pH bond. Now I'm adding the primer. This is only to the area where my natural nail is showing I have a bit of growth from the previous design. And we're gonna add the primer, and then once that's dried, I'm gonna go in with the base coat and do a full 60-second cure with the base coat. So we're going to apply a thin layer, cover the full nail, try my best to keep it off my skin, very important. And so I'll let you go ahead and watch that. Alright, so now they're fully cured, the base coat. So we're gonna go in with the PolyGel. I'm using Modelones Light Apricot, full coverage. So I'm just gonna apply it directly onto the nail, a dollop. And I'm going to use my 70% isopropyl alcohol. I hope I said that right. And use that as my slip solution. And now I'm just gonna pat the PolyGel into place, spreading it, light pats, kind of pushing it, moving it where I need it, trying to keep it very thin and flushed to the sidewalls and cuticle, and also moving it to cover the full nail tip. Very important to try to keep everything covered in place and also smooth it as I go along, which will help minimize the amount of filing in the end. I actually like this PolyGel. It's not too soft. I've used some that are like really soft. This is actually pretty okay. I like the consistency of the this Modelones PolyGel, again light apricot. So I'm using my brush to kind of go around the sidewalls, clean it up, make sure there's nothing touching the skin, and trying to also get my shape as close as possible, again to minimize the amount of filing in the end, because PolyGel is pretty soft. It's very easy to overfile. So the closer to the shape when sculpting the nail will help when you need to go back in and file. So I just, as you can see, removed some of the excess PolyGel at the tip that's not needed. Want to also keep it nice and thin at the tip as well. Making sure that you build the body of the nail, the apex, making it thicker in the middle for the strength and support, thin at the cuticles, sidewalls, and also thin at the tip. Here you see me just smoothing out my nail shape. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking, just kind of touching it up Again, trying to make sure it's not touching my skin, but also making sure that I'm flushing it as close to the cuticle as I can, to give it that clean application look. Alright, so once I'm okay with how it looks, I'll go in and put it in for I'll do a 30-second cure, because I do have to go back in with the remaining nails and then it'll get fully cured through then. But normally it is like a 60-second cure with an LED light and a 2-minute cure with a UV. Alright, so I'll just let you take that in, and yeah. Alright, so this is what it's looking like cured. Very nice. I'm very pleased with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the rest of the nails. Again, like I said, this PolyGel is a little bit more on the thicker side, not as soft and runny, so it kind of makes it easy to do more than one nail. Sometimes when you leave the PolyGel sitting on the nail bed, it warms up and then it starts to move. But with this one, it wasn't too bad, so I was able to apply it to the rest of the nails and then just go ahead, sculpt each nail, and then do a final cure of everything one time. So same thing again, patting it, moving it, making sure I'm covering the full nail tip, and moving the polygel back towards the cuticle, and then just very gently placing it where I want it, lightly patting, pushing, that kind of movement, trying to keep it more thin around the sidewalls and the cuticle, keeping the majority of the thickness in the middle area to build that apex. So I'm kind of placing it where I need it. I'm gonna do that to all the nails. Then I'm gonna go back in and refine the sculpture, like clean up the sidewalls, shape up the apex, and all that good stuff. So I will let you go ahead and watch me do that. And this is what they look like coming out of the lamp. We're gonna remove the shiny layer, which I just did off camera. Loving how they're looking, very nice. Now we're ready to go ahead and start the filing. So I'm gonna go in first with my hand file, try to shapen up the design, crisp up the shape. you know, get as close and crisp as I can. And then I will go in with my E-File and go around the cuticle and just smooth it out. So I'll let you go ahead and watch me do that. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in with my my E-File and drill bit. I think this is the cone shape, I don't remember, it's ceramic. And it is the, I believe, medium or fine grit. Oh boy, anyways, not on a fast speed. I'm gonna take my time and go around the sidewalls and cuticle, making sure that it's properly sealed, flushed, and nothing is on the skin. I'm also going to take that to help debulk the nail, smooth it out, and give it a nice shape. So I will go ahead and stop talking, and you guys can watch that. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with the E-File. I'm just going to go back in with my hand file just to make sure everything is nice and crisp and the shape is exactly how I want it to be. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in with my buffing block, and this is to just smooth everything out so it's not rough, or if there's scratches, kind of smooth it out so it has a more nice finish. At this point, once everything is done, you can either just leave the polygel, apply a top coat, and leave it as a nude natural, or you can go ahead and apply gel polish, design, rhinestones, whatever you want. But for this video, we are just going to leave the polygel as is, and then you'd have to stay tuned for part 3 when we actually do the design on the nail. So here's what it's looking like, nice and cleaned up. I'm very proud of myself. I'm doing much better, you know, learning, growing, and again, here it is. So thanks for watching, and see you at part 3.